Volkonovski versus Topuria. Volkonovski got decapitated.
Yeah.
He did. And it was extremely sad. You may have seen our instant reaction, patented. It wasn't nice watching. And looking back at it, I understand why we were all scared that was going to happen now. You know what I mean? Because it was.
Because it happened.
Yeah, because it was always fucking going to happen. Like, that's... I picked with my heart, but in my head, I was like, Volk's going to do well, but he's going to have nothing for him, and then he's going to get knocked out, because this guy is just fucking vicious.
I don't know.
I was like, he couldn't knock out
Josh Emmett.
Josh Emmett in 5 rounds. He's not going to knock out Volk. And he did. And he did it. It was a beautiful knockout.
It was very, very clinical. And you could see he was so calm in there. That's another thing I want to say. Like,
no wasted energy.
Yeah, no wasted energy. And he was just cutting off the corners for Volk to escape. And the first time that he got him trapped in that corner of the cage, boom.
Yeah, because he struggled to get him there for a while. Volk did actually do pretty well, and he won the first round. Although he didn't really land anything damaging. Topuria actually seemed to land the more damaging shots up till that point again.
Most definitely.
Joe Rogan always likes to find one specific thing that he points out over and over and over again every fight. But this time he was right. Volk was leaning back. And he wasn't moving to the side or using footwork to get out of situations. He would just lean back to avoid the punch. And he wasn't even really blocking. He was just leaning straight back. And that actually did end up kind of leading to him getting clipped. You know, he didn't have his hand up. He was against the cage. He was right there, ready to be landed on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When you were watching it, did you find that from the very beginning, you felt like Volk was going to lose?
No, I didn't feel like Volk was going to lose, but I felt nervous. And I felt more nervous than I normally do in a Volk fight. It was like the first Islam fight. That's how I felt for this. I felt like I knew that there was a decent chance that Topuria clipped him, but I knew that Volk has the more complete kind of skill set in MMA. And I still believe that experience was obviously on his side, and he has shown that he can hang with the best when it comes to striking and when it comes to grapplers and even jiu-jitsu specialists as well. So I was kind of surprised of the outcome, but at the same time, Ilya just went in with the perfect game plan. And he thought he'd get it done in round 1, and he even in round 1 he landed some really significant leg strikes, which I think would have played a part into Volk's game plan in the second round, which was more evasive.
He also landed some pretty big headshots as well.
Yeah.
Landed a couple, and Volk was like, you know, when Volk does that head nod and kind of to say, yeah, you got me there, but I'm all good.
But yeah, he wasn't stumbled, and he kept moving forward after that. So
it just felt a little bit like an inevitability that he was going to land clean at some point, and he did. And yeah, Volk went out.
But yeah, I want to say hats off to Volk, because once again, he's a true
class act.
A class act. Really good sportsmanship in the post-fight press conference. He said, "Look, I went in there. I felt great. My camp was great. It's not a matter of turning things around too quickly since the Islam knockout. He was
You can't take anything away from.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's a really you don't see that every day, and especially in MMA. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are quick to turn around and say, oh, you know, it was this or that. My weight cut didn't go great. That all sorts of things like that. Flowers.
He said that last week.
I may have been referencing that, but yeah.
No, yeah. But sorry, I just choked a little
That's
bit.
okay. Right down the wrong hole.
Sorry, guys. I put it down the wrong hole again. But no, I completely agree. He was a completely an absolute champion in defeat, as he always is. He's always he's just a really good guy. And even Topuria in his post-fight interview, he said, like, I almost want to give him the rematch just because he's such a nice guy. Like, he's such a nice guy. He's the nicest guy in the world. He even said that, like, but at the same time, you know, I want to move on to better things. I want to move on to new things. I don't want to keep going again and again at the same thing. Which,
no.
If Volk wants a rematch, give him a rematch.
Yeah.
The guy defended 5 times. He gave Max 2 rematches after he beat him the first time.
Yep.
Volk deserves a rematch. Whether he should take a rematch, that's the debate that needs to be had. Obviously, he deserves it.
That's his choice to make, though. You know,
yeah.
if he feels like he wants to turn around again after now being knocked out twice, and take an immediate rematch, then
it's the same.
That's his choice, and it's his funeral if it goes the same way. But
it is. It is.
You know, the other argument too is if he takes some time off, then you get another guy come through and fight Topuria, and let's be honest, most likely lose.
Probably. He doesn't look like he's going to be beaten.
Then you could have some sort of problem where there might be a few people lined up to take a shot at the belt, and Volk's taken some time away, and then it wouldn't be till he was 37, 38 maybe before he comes back. And
that's the other thing.
Yeah, so it's
how long do we have for a rematch? Like how long can Volk keep fighting? You know, he's 35. He's now taken 2 pretty brutal knockouts in a row. He's going to be 36 soon. If he takes, say, a year out, he will be 36, coming up 37. And the smaller guys, generally, as they age, they don't get any better. So if he doesn't get this rematch straight away and he does take some time off, or if he takes a year off and does get an instant rematch, it's all stacking up against him. It is all stacking up against him. Like, you don't want him to turn around too quick because he just got knocked out. You want him to take some time off, but he's also 35.
Yep.
So it's like, his career, man, it's not looking good.
Well, his career has looked fantastic.
I know. His future.
Yeah.
The future of his career is not looking good. His career was amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. For me, he's easily top 10 of all time. Probably top 8. No, probably top 7. I'd probably put him at 6. Or even 5. It's tough, you know? It's tough.
I'd like I think I'd like to see him on the bench, like in the commentary kind of section.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that would be awesome. He's proven time and time again that he's very analytical. He can break fighters down and kind of
funny.
Yeah, he's funny as well. Like there's a lot of things in this guy's favor, and not all of them have anything to do with his fighting.
No.
So
I think everyone likes Volk.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one person in this whole world.
Topuria was like gearing up to be a twat to him the whole fight camp, and even he's saying that
look, he's the nicest guy ever. And even the pre-fight face-off, it was like he said to him, he's like, look, I really respect you as a man and as a fighter. I've just seen this. I've seen this happen in my dreams. I'm going to knock you out. That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, Topuria knows. And do you see Islam? He sent his daughters like a toy doll.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was
Islam
cool.
is a fucking G.
He is a G.
Like, let's be real. Islam is a fucking top man. But no, everyone loves Volk. Everyone loves Volk. And I think Volk is sometimes maybe his own worst enemy. Like, he just wants to keep fighting over and over and over and over again. And, you know, there's 2 decisions that he's made now that are questionable. First of all, taking that Islam fight on short notice.
Yep.
With all the circumstances that surrounded that. Second of all, turning around really quickly and going into a title fight after 4 months, which I don't think I don't think that really had an effect on the outcome.
No.
The previous one. But they're 2 decisions that are a bit up in the air. Like, you know, should he be doing both of these things?
Well, yeah, it's what most people are talking about at this stage, isn't it?
But he's a dog. He's an animal. You know?
Yeah.
He thinks differently to most people.
I think he needs a new challenge, I think. But it's easy for us to say this sitting here.
Yeah. He does. He needs a new challenge. Put him in a wheelchair. Let's have him play wheelchair basketball.
Shall we have a look at the featherweight division and say
it's going to be tough?
Let's get out our crystal balls and just say that Volk isn't getting the next title shot.
Guys, I need to get up again. I need to put my laptop on charge.
Goodness gracious. This is and I can't just dive into a weather report either because I've prematurely got that out of the way. So I'm just gonna yesterday's weather. Why does anyone want to hear about yesterday's weather? Saying that this weather that they're getting right now is yesterday's weather.
Well, wants to hear about 2 days ago.
That's a good point. What else is going on? Kobe missed a parcel today, and he's very angry about it. He's having some serious struggles with the local courier around these parts. keeps leaving "sorry we missed you" notes. I don't think he is very sorry by the sounds of it. If you're listening, Mr. Courier, you need to knock a bit louder and maybe just wait for someone to come to the door, because my co-host here, my friend, he's not very happy with you.
Okay.
God, this is terrible. I'm out of things to say. You've put me on the spot.
We're back. Sorry, guys. So,
are we?
We're back. We're back in action. Look, all this just makes us even more, likable, real. We're real people. We're not just these celebrities you see on the screen.
Celebrities.
So the UFC lightweight,
Featherweight.
Yeah, I just like to keep you on your toes.
I'm always on my toes.
You're not right now.
That's a good point. Actually, yeah, I am.
You kind of are, yeah.
Yeah.
So bantamweight, featherweight. Here we go. So Volk is still champ. That's cool. They must have given it back to him.
Yeah.
Imagine Topuria popped the fucking EPO or some shit.
Goodness me. Max Holloway is still number one, but I have a feeling that we might see him move up to lightweight after this Gaethje fight. Look, it sounds like he has really taken his time with putting the weight on this time round, and whether or not there's many fights left for him at featherweight that are as exciting as the matchups he has at lightweight.
Yeah. And like the chance of becoming a double champ is probably more exciting to him than becoming the featherweight champ again.
Yeah.
He has already beaten everyone at featherweight apart from Topuria and Volk. But, is there any point? I wouldn't want to go fight Topuria if I was him.
No. Do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the winner of Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. This fight is coming up this weekend, I believe.
Perfect timing.
I believe. Yeah, it's almost like it was set up that way, Kobe. Would you agree?
It's almost like it was.
I think the UFC have got their little brains rubbing together, and they've gone, hey,
the little pink heads,
all
oiled up. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's definitely the next move. It's got to be. Holloway is going to be fighting in a couple months for the BMF. He's going to take some damage, win or lose.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that's the perfect fight.
The other person that is
Evloev,
yeah.
He's the other one, yeah. But
who's he going to fight? He needs another fight. He can't just jump straight in there. Maybe he fights the loser of Ortega.
Yeah, give him the
Yair.
loser. Topuria did mention, look, this guy needs to beat someone convincingly. He's only decisioned everyone that he's fought in the UFC. And that's
Who's that? Evloev?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he said basically maybe he should fight his dad, then he could finally get a finish.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said, yeah.
That's some good chat, Ilya.
Good chat, Ilya. So yeah. I mean,
who else have we got in there?
I think that's perfect.
No
Winner
one
fights Topuria, loser fights Evloev.
Yep.
And then the loser, if Evloev wins, you chuck him in for the title.
I think, look, I think we're getting a bit too good at this now, but I also think
obvious,
that we're just kind of reading between the lines, quite literally, kind of just putting people where they're going to go.
Yeah, we're the matchmakers, and they have no idea who's going to fight. That's why Dana always says, look, we don't make fights on the night. Combat Corner comes out on Tuesday. Yeah. So,
that's what he says.
That is what he says.
We would put it up on the screen, but we're just not smart enough.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. People know.
Who do you think's going to win between Yair and Brian?
I think Yair. Brian. I think Yair is going to win. I think his jiu-jitsu is brilliant. He's got much better striking than Ortega, although Ortega's no slouch on the feet, and he could definitely catch him in a submission. But he's just not active enough. He isn't active enough. And Yair's been active, and he's looked fucking good. Even looked good against Volk, although he did get beat very convincingly. He had moments in that fight. So I think for sure Rodriguez will probably win that. Yeah,
I like that. I agree. Didn't one of them run into an injury the last time they fought?
Yeah, it was a submission by Yair Rodriguez. It was a dislocated shoulder.
Ooh.
But he did submit him because it was a triangle attempt, and he pulled out and dislocated his shoulder.
Are we?
So yeah, tough. But yeah, that's pretty obvious. Volk, sit out, wait for a rematch. I don't want to see him fight anyone else. I don't want to see him fight Evloev. I mean, he could if they're not going to give him the title fight, but it's Volk. He deserves a title fight.
Styles make fights, and I like the stylistic matchup between Yaya and Ilia Topuria.
So
I know we're
it'd
getting
be
a bit
fun.
ahead of ourselves, but
I
like
also
that.
think that Evloev is a very winnable fight for Volk.
Mhm.
Like, if Volk wants to get a win against the guy who's not going to knock him out, fight Evloev.
That's true.
It's a winnable fight.
Saying
Main
that,
event, UFC 303. Sorry.
saying that, if Ivloev has now been told by the champ that he needs to win convincingly, he's going to go in there with some ideas,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And yeah, I think he does, like, Evloev needs to wait for the landscape to kind of iron out a little bit before he takes the next fight, because he doesn't want to be fighting down.
No. He wants to be fighting up.
Yeah, he needs to be fighting one of those top 4. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
We've waffled on for a while now.
Very sad about the result.
Lot
but
of waffle.
Hey, look, one more thing. Topuria is 26 years old. This guy's going to be a force in the UFC.
Yes.
He's the real deal. I'd like to see him go up eventually and fight Islam. That would be fun. One day in the distant future.
While we're still talking about it, instead of moving on like I suggested,
I just wanted to bring that point
what
up.
about O'Malley versus Topuria? Because O'Malley has a bit of beef with Mr. Topuria, and has also said that if Ilia beat Volkonovski, he would think about moving up. And
he doesn't want to fight Merab.
he doesn't want to fight Merab. He doesn't
one
want
wants
to
to do
defend
that.
his belt too many times because it takes away from his
Cuck lifestyle.
well,
No? Oh.
it's a risk, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
no,
I don't
yeah,
think he's that comfortable being there at the top, in my opinion.
Look, O'Malley's great, and I honestly think he would have a decent chance against Merab at clipping him early and finishing him, because Merab gets hurt. He's got hurt on the feet multiple times. And look, if Sean hits you, it's much different kettle of fish than if Henry hits you, and he got rocked badly in that first round by, well, not badly, but he got rocked by Henry.
I got rocked pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why Sean, I mean, maybe he's not avoiding him. Maybe we're all just making this up, but if I was Sean, I'd be like, give me fucking Merab. I want to prove that I'm actually legit.
I think
if he wins,
that's why I'm sitting here saying he doesn't seem that comfortable at the top, because he's taken this fight against Marlon Cheeto Vera, who is number 6th ranked.
Yeah, it's annoying. It should be fucking Merab. Like, it should be. Bro, that guy is so good. He's a monster. Anyway, we'll move on, because he will be a talking point in the future of this episode, won't he?